Yeah, his
Huh?
shooting was terrible in this game in particular. He's not a bad goal scorer. If you look at his Lyon days, I mean, he was pretty good in the 17-18 season. And beyond that, I just don't. I guess I have the similar concerns as you if I'm a Barca fan. I think stylistically, the profile is very similar to what you already have. And it would be almost like the equivalent of like signing another Pjanic when you already have a million Pjaniches, Busquets and Pjanic are not exactly identical. Neither is De Jong, and neither is Memphis and Pedri, or Memphis and Fati, and Memphis and Dembele. However, you have these young players who can play those positions, and I'm not sure if Memphis all of a sudden is good enough to solve your problems while also not taking away valuable playing time for the development of those players you already have, right?
Well, listen, that's exactly the thing, isn't it, Kian? You talk about taking valuable minutes away. Okay, Ansu Fati will be injured now, or will be out now for reported más o menos 4 months. But what will happen when he comes back? You also wonder, about the price tag, I guess. Of course, they're reporting now that he could come really on the cheap. So in that sense, it could be an interesting purchase. However, what will his wage be? Will there be will it be a burden for the next, board of the directors that will have to come in? And what will they do? Will they have to sell him off? Will they have to simply count on him because his wage, given his wage and his age, he's not necessarily interesting for other teams who are also going through financial problems? So will we be able to sell him off? If not, will he just be a burden for the team? And like you said, like you pointed out, prevent other players from getting more minutes. So right now, there's more question marks surrounding his potential arrival as opposed to, kind of confirmations that yes, it makes sense, and he's a missing piece to the puzzle. So I'm a little bit more standoffish than I was over the summertime, where I thought his arrival was, more than necessary.
I actually wrote about Barca yesterday in my column. I don't know if you caught that, but
as you do.
Yeah,
as a Barca fan,
as I do, as number one Barcelona fan. I never hide my fascination with Barcelona. I actually mentioned that in my article. I was like, I'm fascinated by Barcelona, always am. But I just mentioned, just along the lines of, with Fati out, I'm very curious to see what happens with Barca, in that if Griezmann doesn't get his act together and Dembele doesn't stay healthy, that becomes pretty worrying for you, because all of a sudden you have to go back to this Messi over-reliance, which Koeman was trying to get away from. I also just dug up some crazy Griezmann stats. I mean, not actually crazy, but very believable Griezmann stats. Career lows in key passes per game, shots per game. The only season that was worse in terms of shooting was last season, but that was by a marginal hair. His dribbling is at an all-time low, dribbles completed. He only has 1 assist to his name so far. He's underperforming XG for the first time since that stat has been recorded. The only thing that is high, is that actually a career high, is his passing accuracy.
Minutes.
And I think the reason for that is because he's just making safer passes. Like he's doing less daring things. He's being less creative, and he's playing with low confidence. But one thing that is interesting for Barca, and this in the whole Memphis discussion, if the elections, and as of today, from what I read, January 24th, it was reported, are the elections. If that happens, that really eats into your transfer window, which makes roster construction during that time in particular, especially while you're trying to juggle all these salary reductions, which haven't been successful, becomes a little bit more challenging, right?